Welcome to the Robbie Rowe Show. My name is Robbie Rowland. I am your host. You are listening to the segment, If It's Fair, It's Gone, with my boy Jack Flaherty. We are on episode 7. Let's hear a soundbite from Jack.
I took into account, okay, what schools are sponsored by who? You know, I knew Carolina was sponsored by Jordan. I knew what cleats that they wore. I knew all of that stuff. So you go to Duke, you know you're going to wear Nike.
Listening to Clear the Mechanism. The Robbie Rowe Show. The Robbie Rowe Show.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Robbie Rowland here. Another episode of If It's Fair, It's Gone with Jack Flaherty. Episode 7. We are crushing it, man. I wonder how many episodes we'll get to. Anyway, so today's going to be a little bit of lighter episode of If It's Fair, It's Gone. I know last time we got on the mic, there was a lot of things going on that I actually did want to touch on as far as him in spring training and doing what he's actually doing. This episode was actually recorded right after episode 6, so same time frame, but we dive into, I guess, not lighter topics, but I guess lighter than the other topics, question mark? I don't know. But we talk about the Zion Williamson dilemma. I think a lot of you guys know that Jack and I are both passionate about basketball. So we talk about the Zion Williamson thing as far as the shoe companies go. Jack makes a lot of good points in this whole episode. We go from the shoe companies to, should college players get paid, and then the NBA draft age, the one and done dilemma, and then talk about his Lakers and them being just completely done, and then we cap off the show talking NBA MVP discussion. So, like I said, a little bit of lighter talk for you guys today, but nonetheless, absolutely epic as always. But yeah, no, it's a good episode. So we'll get right into it. But before we do that, let me thank a sponsor of the show in Massage Guns. You guys heard me talk about them last time Jack and I were on the mic, but nothing's changed. They're still dope. I'm actually using their gun. I just was using it, and dude, the gun is so cool, man. And I haven't even done the highest percussions one yet, but man, it is pretty dang cool. So just to give you a highlight of it, if you haven't heard about them yet, Massage Guns created for the need for affordable home therapy tools for athletes of all ages and sports, made for professional and personal use. It's an investment towards your body, guys. I mean, especially if you're an aspiring athlete. There's certain things that you do have to invest in to make sure that every time you do step on the field, court, floor, whatever it is, that you're feeling 110% ready to rock. And I think it also, to speak on the generation society type whatever world we're living in, where training is in such high demand that we're putting our bodies these days through the absolute ringer, and it's important to make sure that we're focusing on the recovery protocols within that. So I think Massage Guns is a great tool for any athlete to use and to really just put in their toolbox, right? So what I can do for you guys, I can get you a discount. So massageguns.com, and then at checkout, discount code Robbie, ROBBY, save you a little bit of money. I will link the website, their Instagram, into the show notes. So if you want to go take a deeper dive into Massage Guns, just go into the show notes. I'll provide all that information there for you. So massageguns.com, discount code Robbie at checkout. All right. So without further ado, let's get to If It's Fair, It's Gone, episode 7. Alrighty then. Hope you guys enjoy it. 2 and 1 and okay. All right. Hey, we're live again. Jay Flair, what up, dude? Long time no talk, man.
Rob, man, good to hear from you.
Yeah, man. First of all, miss your face and your voice. Second of all, congrats on everything going on right now in Springy T. I want to spend the next 25, 30 minutes or so not talking about baseball, only talking about whatever comes to mind in the category of basketball and other things. First subject, we're going to start off with a bang. The Zion Williamson incident. So yeah. I know it's funny too, because the only reason I knew Zion from 3 years ago was because of you. And like you spent a lot of time in high school watching him, right? He went to your high school, right?
No, Zion is different. Zion is a different player. Cassius Stanley is a player that went to my high school.
Was it not Zion that you always showed me like the highlight films of in high school?
No, that was Cassius Stanley.
Okay, well that's embarrassing to start the show.
Zion's tapes would definitely be right around Cassius.
Okay,
they were the two high fly.
Dude, we got to come back and talk about Cassius though, because now I'm curious. But where are we at on your take? I know we've kind of texted over this a couple times, but I want to hear first your take regarding like the whole shoe company dilemma thing, because Paul George obviously reached out to Nike. Where do you think how big of a hit does Nike take? We'll start that. So the first question will be, how big of a hit do you think Nike takes out of this whole thing?
I think they're going to have to take a big hit because they're going to have to give Zion whatever he wants. They're going to have to give him a shoe right away. They're going to have to give him they're going to have to give him whatever he wants. They're going to have to, and in order to sign him, in order to get him to come there, it was obviously unfortunate. It was kind of a freak, a little bit of a freak thing. I mean, you don't ever see that. He went right through the shoe. So
yeah. You were the one that texted me about that too, because I wasn't even watching the game.
Yeah,
I was actually on the toilet when you texted me that. I don't know why I remember that like that. But so I was watching. I forget. I think I was watching. What is it? Get Up. It's the one with. It's Get Up. I think. Anyways, they were talking about the. This is interesting to me because Duke has Nike, right? So I think like Nike pays Duke to wear to have the players wear the shoes, so when they gain like national attention, which Duke obviously does, everyone involved sees Nike. But the players who have to wear the shoes don't get paid at all. They don't get any of that quote unquote endorsement money. So do you believe that A, should the player get paid if they're going to wear the shoe that's required of them, or B, do you think that the player should have a say in what shoe they wear?
Like shoe company?
Yeah. So like
because part of choosing the school, I think that is something that has to go in consideration when you choose the school. So like when I was being recruited, I took into account, okay, what schools are sponsored by who? I knew Carolina was sponsored by Jordan. I knew what cleats that they wore. I knew all of that stuff. So you go to Duke, you're going to wear Nike. I'm sure Zion wore Nike all in high school and was like, okay, I'm going to continue. Like I get to continue to wear Nike. Now, what I don't know is like what choice the player gets on what particular shoe they wear. I think they get to wear whatever shoe they want that is Nike. But no, just you choose what brand you want, because if you are that high caliber of player, you take into account what that school, what the brand of what brand represents the school. Mm-hmm. So if Nike represents the school, you have to take that into account. If you like to wear Adidas, well, guess what? Either you're going to switch to Nike or you're going to go to a school that is represented by Adidas. And I think that just goes into it.
Yeah, because I think it was T-Mac. T-Mac made a comment regarding that he should have the say in what he wears because he's not getting paid. So, yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think that's an interesting take that I didn't even consider. I wasn't a big-time guy coming out of high school, like where I had to consider, but I was going to Oregon, so it was University of Nike, so it didn't really matter. Right. But that
was just something that I looked at.
Yeah, that's interesting. You picked UNC, right? Like that was where you were going? Yes. And so what would you say, like 98% of the reason you picked him was because Jordan?
Oh, of course. I was just hoping to go get some of that sick gear.
You're like, wait, 99%, not 98.
Yeah. You went a little low there. But yeah.
I wonder if he'll go Nike. That'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting because, I think Nike is going to offer super high, and I think other companies might go low because they're like, well, why would you want to go with Nike? Like, you just got hurt.
Yeah, it's a good sales pitch for sure in their favor.
And it'd be like, I mean, but, it could have just been the Paul Georges, and it just happened to be. And it's just interesting with all the basketball shoes because obviously they're designed for that player. And Paul George is a 6'11", I don't know how much he weighs, but he's not, he don't weigh 260 or whatever Zion weighs. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
He's not 260, so it's designed for a guy like himself. So I think it's just something to think about. I don't know how it works at college with what shoe they have to wear. I know they just have to wear Nike. So
okay, yeah,
it'll be interesting what he comes out and does. I don't know if guys should get paid just because of they have to wear Nike. Like, oh my God, you have to wear Nike because, I mean, it'd be more for the school because Nike isn't choosing the player. The school is choosing the player. When you get paid as a professional athlete by Nike, well, Nike or whoever chooses you. Mm-hmm. And they make you an offer and you eventually choose them, but they choose to make you an offer. The Nike is not choosing you to go to that school. The school is choosing it, or the coach, whatever, is picking you to go to that school, and then you pick the school. So right. If they need to get paid, then it would come through the school, but it would not come through. I don't think it should come through based on, whatever brand you're wearing.
So do you think like college players, because dude, college, gosh, they make a lot of freaking money, dude. Do you think, are you favor of the player getting paid like somewhat?
So I don't know. That's so hard. It's hard because it's hard to figure out how to regulate that. But one thing that should change is they should not be allowed to change the ticket prices.
Right.
Like, I don't care how big of a game it is. If you aren't going to pay the player, then you can't change. You need to have set prices for your games. Whatever seat it is worth X amount. It doesn't matter who's buying it. Now, when it comes to floor seats, I don't know how those work for college, but every other seat in the house for any game, no matter what it is, got to be the same price. Because if you're not going to pay the players and you're going to raise the price, when Duke, UNC play each other, now, and because it's Zion and it's on ESPN, now you got problems.
Because they did that for the game, right? The first meeting, they upped the prices.
Yeah, at Duke, because Zion was there. People talk about, they got Zion got Barack Obama to go there. But I mean, he's always been a big college basketball fan. I mean, I don't know if he was there for the rivalry or if he was there because I'm not sure. But, it is interesting when you do bring a crowd like that, when you get the kind of people that were there at the game. So, but it's so hard to regulate when it comes to basketball and then football and then baseball. And it's like, okay, well, if these college football players are getting paid, then, the women's basketball team needs to get paid.
All
and
sports.
Different schools, it's going to be different. It's like, okay, if you at women's basketball, well, the UConn women's basketball team, those players should get paid the most. I mean, I don't know what brings in the most money at UConn, but that's the best team there.
Yeah.
So those they should get paid the most based on whatever the best sport is at the school. It's tough to really tough to regulate.
Yeah, because then you're gonna want like other sports teams to like split what football is making, but you're the water polo team or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Huh.
Those guys are getting paid anyway, so.
Speaking of paid,
everybody refuses to address that they're already getting paid.
Do you want to address it?
No, I mean it's just I mean you get guys like these analysts and everything. They know these kids. They know these college guys. They know that they're getting paid or somebody's getting a house somewhere. Like, they know that it goes on, but when they talk on TV, they have to, do all this stuff in order to say that, they should get paid, and just to make it more public. It's already going on. You might as well just make it public information. So, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I've gone back and forth on the whole thing. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, well, let me know when you are sure, because I'd love to hear that opinion.
I will. I will.
So, like I said, speaking of getting paid, let's dive into the whole NBA proposing the new rule change of allowing high schoolers to go into the NBA draft. Obviously, that was. Do you know the year in which they changed that? It was right after Dwight Howard, right? I think it was 07, 08. I don't know. I wish I would have looked that up because I could have sounded smart, but now I don't. So
yeah, I'm not sure
because as of right now, when we're recording this episode, the NBA had already proposed the rule change, but it has not gone through. Where do you stand as far as the importance of allowing an 18-year-old to enter the NBA draft?
Man, look, I looked this up because when it went through, I felt this way and I wanted to make sure that I was right. There's a few things that go. There's a few things that go into it that I don't think people are considering. Is the first thing that I'm going to say is it's going to incentivize players getting held back.
Oh, like in high school?
In high school, which is already going on. Guys are already getting held back and are 19-year-old seniors in high school because they got held back a year when they were in 8th grade or whatever, just to be older playing against these guys. So now you're going to have 19 instead of being 19 as a freshman in college, you're going to be 19 and it's going to be like, this stuff already goes on where they want to look better in order to get in order to go to college.
Yeah, but scouts are going to know their age, right?
Yeah, I know, but it's not. I'm just saying, I don't like the fact that that they want to get held, that they're going to do it in order to look better, and just be a little bit bigger and be like, oh, I'm this, and that's what I think.
Yeah,
maybe it won't happen, but the fact that it already is happening, I think it's just going to happen more. I just think more guys are going to, they're going to see, oh, he's 19, and he went in the first round. Okay, I can do that. And so now you're going to get they're going to do all this holdback stuff.
They should be penalized, I think, for that. I think if they're not going to put school as a priority, there should be a penalized. They should be. Yeah, I don't know how. But I think it should be. So, and how would it work? Would it work like the MLB where you can get drafted? If you don't get drafted, you can go to college, or you have to declare like it was before. Right. Well, that's the whole thing with NBA, right? Because if you declare and you hire an agent, don't you become ineligible in college? Yeah.
That's what it was. I mean, the baseball changed that where you can hire in baseball it used to be you just couldn't say agent, you had to say advisor. Yeah. They changed that.
They did?
Now it's an agent. Yeah, you can have an agent, but once you go to college, they're no longer your agent. You have to come back to that in 3 years. So in high school, you can just say, yeah, this is my agent. You don't have to be careful. So you can still be eligible if you in fact don't sign.
So in high school and this is Major League Baseball rules we're talking about, because for me it was the same as I think maybe it was for you. I don't know that actually, but yes. It was advisor. You would technically have an agent, but he was your advisor, and he would do just that, give you advice. And then as soon as you signed that major league contract, he became your agent because then you signed another contract stating that he was your agent.
Yes.
So how did it change? So now you can sign a contract
that you can. No, I don't think you sign a contract to make him your agent. I think you can just use the word agent now instead of saying advisor.
And it won't do anything with the clearinghouse? Because I remember that was the big concern beforehand.
Yeah, you had to be careful with your words. I don't think that occurs. But my question is it going to be like the NFL where, you say you're in college, you have to declare for the draft, and no matter what, you're in the draft? Or is it going to work like baseball where you can get drafted and say, no, I'm still going to go to college?
Yeah, dude, I wish I had that answer.
So that's an interesting one because, knowing some of these high school guys, they already look at themselves as one and done. So they're like, I'm going to be a one and done, and they're not. They're not. And you get some these guys that go to these big time programs and they're 5-star recruits. And then you come to find, and then, those guys, they get there and you're like, oh, well, there's 4 other 5-star recruits here. And now I'm getting beat out for a spot. Now I'm not starting. I thought I was going to come in here, start, be a one and done. Oh, I got to come back for my sophomore year. And there's 3 other guys coming in that are 5 stars. Now I'm riding the bench as a sophomore. Okay, now I'm a junior, and it's like, okay, now I figured it out. Now I'm a starter, and now you're in college for 3 years. And that happens to some guys who come out as 5-star recruits, and they're like, they think they're the biggest, baddest dude on the block, and then they walk in there and somebody else beats them out, and it's like you get hit in the face. And so if it is the fact where you have to declare out of high school, I just hope that these guys get the right representation where, they understand you have to be a Kobe Bryant or you have to be a LeBron James in order to make, or Kevin Garnett or Dwight Howard to make that jump directly from high school to the NBA. Because
don't forget to throw T-Mac in there, dog. Easy now.
T-Mac, I'm sorry. Gomber would be pissed if we didn't mention T-Mac. but just think about the short list of guys that made the jump from high school to the NBA and were really, really good.
Right. Yeah, no, it's very
Sebastian Telfair was supposed to be freaking like that next deed. Never happened.
Dude, did you see the documentary though? It was like Through the Wire or something?
I didn't watch that documentary yet.
Oh, it's fire. Sebastian Telfair?
But
that was a really good one. He was nasty, dude.
He was gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think that, looking at the number, okay, they want to take down the NCAA system and the one and dones doesn't work for the NBA, but you get that little bit of time to get bigger, get faster, get stronger. You think about you're going to finish your high school season, you're going to go directly into summer ball, and you're going to go into the summer league. You don't really get workout time before the season starts. You get way less of an off season because you're going to go through the summer league. And you're not going to get bigger. You're not going to have a chance to get bigger. So, which is what all those guys need to do. They need to get in the weight room. They need to get stronger. And, realize they're not just, for a guy like Cassius, like he's not just going to walk onto an NBA floor and be the best athlete out there like he is in high school, where he just jumps out of the gym. He runs by everybody, jumps over everybody. So, it's interesting because just looking it up, the amount of guys that went straight from high school into the NBA and were really, really good, like those guys have been some of the best of the best. T-Mac, LeBron, Kobe,
it's a rarity.
KG. Yeah. I mean, goodness, those are the best of the best. And then you look at the guys that weren't it, and you're like, man, they just. Did Kwame come out of high school?
Kwame, he was he was, right? He was 1-1 too. I don't know.
Yeah. And I just think that it's such a rarity that the high school player comes in and is LeBron or Kobe or T-Mac or Dwight or KG.
I think they should have that option though. I think like I know it's a rarity, and I know, like, I understand and respect everything you're saying, but I think for a guy like Zion, that should be the case, where, like, that guy should, like, he shouldn't have to go. Not waste a year, that's the inappropriate word, but, like, he should just go. Like, that's what they're even saying right now with, like, everyone's in the NBA is saying, like, dude, don't even come back and play. Like, you don't owe Duke anything. Like, it's on you.
Yeah. And I cheated and I just went to go look it up and I look at, some of the draftees. It started with KG, then you got Kobe, Jermaine O'Neal, T-Mac.
Wow.
Al Harrington was good, Rashard Lewis, then you get a guy like Corleone Young.
Never heard of him.
Jonathan Bender, Darius Miles.
That's the guy I was talking about, yeah. He was in a movie.
Kwame
he was in high school, right? He was 1-1 too, I think.
Yeah. 1-1.
Might be the biggest bust.
Stone hands. Amari. Like, it's just Sean Livingston.
Dude, Sean, man. Good for him. Hashtag comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just...
What about this one, though, dude? Because, like, even in my opinion, with the way, like, the NBA is and just all the talent there, is, like, you can have a ton of talent, but you can still be unsuccessful in the NBA. Whereas, like, you see the epidemic of all of these one and dones. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think over the last like 3 to 4 years, like one and dones haven't really done that well. I mean, I don't have the Google machine in front of me, and I'd like to actually Google that, like the past like 5 one and dones. Because everyone that's doing well right now that I know of that are rookies weren't one and dones. Was Trae Young a one and done? He wasn't, right?
He wasn't, but Marvin Bagley was.
Yeah, but he's not even doing that well with Sacramento.
You sure about that?
I mean, is he making like national attention for being a rookie?
Well, but why? Because there's two guys, Luka Doncic and
yeah, I understand that, but he wasn't even starting. Bagley wasn't even starting. Is he starting now?
I don't know. He's giving you 14 and 7.
So Adam Morrison gave you frickin' 14 his rookie year. Come on,
we all know. Yeah,
that's my guy. Gosh,
look here.
I know how to pick him.
In the past drafts, 55 one and done players have been. In the past 10 drafts, 55 one and done players have been selected in the lottery, including the past 7 number 1 picks. Only 9 of those 55 have become all-stars.
Yeah, that's a low
Anthony
percentage.
Davis, Andre Drummond, Kyrie, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, DeMar DeRozan, Derrick Rose, Kevin Love, and Kevin Durant.
So I think every single one of those guys that you mentioned could have been high school drafts.
Possibly.
What do you think, dude? Like, I mean, obviously we know how they turned out, so it's easy for me to say that, but
I mean,
they were.
I think Kyrie is a example.
I think Kyrie
got hurt.
nasty in high school.
And he got hurt, remember?
Right, but
Kyrie got hurt
at Duke.
He got hurt at Duke and missed a long time.
He played, I think, 7 games, got hurt, and then came back and then played 1 game in the tournament and lost.
He had 8 starts, played in 11 games total, missed 26 games due to a toe injury in her foot.
Yeah. Right. And that's the team. That team was stacked, and they lost to Arizona with who did Arizona have that year? What was the dude's name? He went 2 overall.
Derek Williams?
Yeah. He wasn't a one and done though, right? Or was he?
He wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you look at some of these guys. I mean, Brandon Ingram, he's just figuring it out.
Dude.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah. Is he out for the year too?
Yep.
Are your Lakers done? Let's segue to that.
Done.
Because I have it in my topics here that what we were going to talk about was LeBron's quote unquote playoff mode, but I don't think it even applies anymore.
So I'm going to give LeBron a little bit of pity.
Okay.
I don't know if this has ever happened before. I'm like, I don't know if pity's the right word, but I feel bad for him in this regards, but I also don't at the same time. Okay. Is that Lonzo, Kuz, Ingram, and now it changes a little bit with Ingram because you realize the severity that he does have blood clots in his right arm.
Right.
In his shoulder, but there was a game where there was, I don't know who they were playing, but it was like a must win, and they lost to whoever.
They lost to Phoenix at Phoenix.
Yeah, whoever. Ingram was out. Lonzo was out.
Yeah,
Lonzo's been out for the same amount of time. Lonzo's been out since LeBron was out.
Yeah,
like,
you tweeted that. I think you tweeted something about must win, and they all were sitting. That was the game LeBron passed MJ.
Yeah, well, there was another one before that. There was another one before that. Before Kuz got hurt, Ingram and Zoe were out, and I was like, why is Ingram sitting out? Like, there's no reason he should be sitting. Dude is playing the best basketball of his career.
Yeah, he was getting buckets.
And you have a shoulder injury. Like, you can figure out your shooting with a shoulder injury. If you have a broken ankle, you can't do anything. And Zoe, I just want to know what the severity of his ankle injury is
apparently
when you missed the entire season.
Yeah, apparently pretty bad because he got reassessed, right? Because they were talking about he was coming back soon and then got reassessed and then they deemed him out for the year.
He just shut it down. I mean, I want to know the severity of it because he pretty much shut it down. And then Kuz, Kuz was balling out. Kuz had an ankle thing and he shut it down too. And so it's hard to judge Bron not on the, injuries happen, so I'm not going to give him a pass because he missed time. No, you missed time and you were in the 8th spot or in the 9th spot, whatever, when you came back. If you're that guy, you make the playoffs. But he did have some of these guys just kind of in the biggest of games. He didn't have his 2, he didn't have his 3, he didn't have his 4 next best players. And it's kind of like, okay, well, yeah. But at the same time, these are also the same guys who were talked about being traded for Anthony Davis. And as a young guy, that's hard to take in and be like, why is this guy going so public with this, like being publicly wanting, we're going to trade all these guys for Anthony Davis. Yeah. And he was like, I don't want to play for this guy anymore.
I think Colin Cowherd talked about that.
Yeah. It's like, why am I going to fight through this injury to play for you when you want this other guy and you wanted to trade us?
Yeah.
And that's where the young guys are that. And so I feel bad for LeBron in the fact that they're not going to make playoffs because these guys didn't fight through injuries, but it's also his fault that they did not fight through these injuries to make the playoffs.
So you got them having a 0% chance of making the playoffs?
0.
I think they're 5.5 or 6.5 out right now.
They're done.
Okay.
I don't even know. So because Ingram's out for the year and Zoe's out for the year, and I don't know what Kuzma's doing anymore. Kuzma's busy going.
What?
Kuzma's too busy going to see Mike Amiri and taking jump shots in his warehouse and trading stuff as opposed to, working on himself to get healthy.
Yo, Kuz is nice though, dude.
Come on.
I like his game.
Come on, man. Yeah, I do too, but come on, dude. Dirk had a quote about the game changing and it being about looking good on Instagram for likes and all that stuff. And honestly, that's the way that some of these basketball guys are. It looks like it.
Yeah, I think that's just society in general, right?
Yeah.
No, so what I was going to say was, where do the Lakers, in your opinion, need to go this offseason? What are the moves?
Pray and hope that somebody comes to play with LeBron.
Who would be a guy that you would want to see come play with him?
Clay.
Sheesh, dude.
I would love to see Clay. Would love to see. I mean, I would take any of those guys. I'd love to see Clay. I'd love to see Kyrie in a Lakers uniform because you get either one of those guys. When LeBron's done, they're going to stay there. They're not going to go anywhere else after that. And so now you never go into rebuilding. I think I would love to see either one of those guys. I don't know if KD's got too much drama attached to him. He's a whole nother
dude. Yeah. Even being like a Warriors guy, it's scary for us, dude, because we had Clay miss 2 games, and all the scuttlebutt about how maybe we don't need Clay. He's kind of just the other piece to the puzzle, whatever. Dude, he missed 2 games or maybe 3. I think it was 2, but we looked terrible without him, and I think we realized the difference that he makes, even for a team like the Warriors, who has a ton of star power, but understanding that even a guy like Clay, dude, makes a freaking huge difference because then he comes back. He comes back against the Nuggets, who are number 2 in the West, right behind Golden State, and drops I think 30 in the first half, and just his presence is wow, dude, no wonder.
I was told. Well, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Well, one of our media guys tried to tell me that Klay Thompson was the best player in the league, and I was like, I don't know about that.
What?
He's like, well, he's the most fundamental. He's the most fundamentally sound. I said, yeah, that's probably true. He plays defense. He can shoot.
Two-way. There's an argument for him being the best two-way guy. Because especially being a shooting guard, it was always Jimmy Butler, and now I think Jimmy Butler's kind of,
Yeah, it's him, Kawhi. Giannis still plays two-way, but I would, But he was like, yeah, he's the best player in the league, and I said, stop. He said, he is. I said, no. But I love Clay.
So where we are right now in the season, I know this episode's going to air probably maybe a week or two in the future, but where we are right now, are you giving Harden, Giannis or Giannis the MVP?
You took Paul George out of that discussion?
Oh, gosh, that's who I was thinking of, too. I knew there was a third. Paul George is, dude, good for him, man. You know what? Good for Westbrook, too, because Westbrook, as much as, like, we all dog on him and stuff, and by we, I mean, like, the media, but he's putting together probably the quietest, like, averaging a triple-double for the second straight season, and the ability that no one thought he was able to do was stepping back and going, PG-13, here you go, bud.
Yeah.
So, like, credit Westbrook, but back to the question. Take those three players. What do you got?
So hard for me to give it to Harden because it just bugs me because it just reminds me, it reminds me of Kobe and what he did in a different time, and
Very
the fact
similar.
that he was not rewarded for the numbers that he put up. I'm actually pulling up all these guys' stats right now just to make sure that, and he didn't get rewarded for what he did, and Steve Nash got rewarded for their team record. So it depends on the way the NBA wants to declare, the most valuable player. It used to go to the guy with the best record on the best team. It was never the guy who had the most outstanding season, which Kobe should have 4 of them.
Yeah.
So based on the point that Harden is stupid, 36, 7.5, 6.5. Russ is averaging a triple-double. Giannis is 27, 12.5. Paul George is 28 and 8, and his defensive numbers are ridiculous as well. So he's the leader on the two-way. James Harden carried them for a while, but they're 50 and 16, man, and it's not like that team is just, you don't look at that team and look up and down the roster and you're like, damn,
right.
So I gotta give it to Giannis,
dude. I think so. I would agree. So I think this is the way. I think the route the NBA is going to take is the one they traditionally take in regards to, hey, Harden got his MVP, we'll give it to a new face. Because not only do I think that's strategic in a sense of the marketing standpoint, right? So like you're now, say you give it to Giannis, and now all of like Milwaukee is maybe more intrigued in basketball or whatever moving forward.
Right.
But I think that's the route they're going to go. I think it's either Giannis or PG. Because I don't think there's a wrong choice in that matter, but I think Milwaukee, with the resurgence of that freaking team, dude, and the level of basketball that they're playing, and not to mention in a generation of the NBA where like the 3-point shot is so highly valued, Giannis doesn't freaking shoot him, dude, and he still gets you 27 a clip. Yeah. Like, that's impressive, man. And do you have the stats in front of you? Isn't he shooting like 60% from the field? Something ridiculous. Like his shooting is crazy, dude.
18, 19, he's shooting 58% from the field. Because he doesn't shoot from the outside. He pretty much shoots like a big man.
I think, dude, if he gets a jumper, if he gets like a 3-point shot, unreal.
Yeah, he's like LeBron. He just, if he gets a jumper, he's literally like LeBron was, he's averaging 27 with all of his shots being at the rim. Because he's just gallops. He doesn't even run. He just gallops by them.
He's a highlight
finishes.
Reel too, man.
I'm giving it to Giannis. I just think that they're 50. They've got the best record in the league. Granted, and their roster just doesn't jump out at you. I think that dude's got to be the coach of the year.
Yeah, I saw a picture today of Giannis in a Golden State Warriors jersey.
Saying, get you excited,
dude. If KD leaves, that's where I think homeboy that owns the Warriors already publicly stated that that's who they're going to go after if they see KD leaving. How crazy would that be? And it could be done too, probably. Just take KD's salary. All right, last topic. We're gonna hop off here because your boy's got to pee really bad. But I want to touch on this topic, and I want to hear your opinion because I'm I'm like you, and I'm really upset about this, but your girlfriend said something, I think publicly, about not liking SpongeBob, and and I kind of want to dive deeper into this subject, because how does one that claims to be a human being not enjoy SpongeBob? What is her opinion?
Well,
like, where does she stand on that?
Okay, she doesn't dislike SpongeBob.
Okay.
I was messing with her. She just thinks I'm a child because, when it gets to that time and I know SpongeBob is on, and if there's nothing else on television while I'm laying in bed doing some work, I might throw SpongeBob on.
Yeah.
And, she likes to look at me and be like, you're just a child. And I say, well, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
SpongeBob is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you not like SpongeBob? She goes, no, I don't not like SpongeBob.
Okay.
Just, why is that what you're putting on?
What does she want you to put on? Jeopardy? Like Wheel of Fortune? Like something old people watch? No offense to the old people that are listening, but I don't know. I thought SpongeBob was that's a really good decision on your part, because now you end your day, you end your night on like a high note. I don't know if you can get any higher than like SpongeBob.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm glad you cleared that up, because now I don't really hate her as much. So that's
yeah.
good.
Don't worry. She likes SpongeBob.
Good. All
For the
right,
most part.
Jay Flair, thanks again, man, for coming on. You're the best. Wish you the best of luck, dude. We'll be watching you in the near future, and yeah, we'll talk soon, right? I mean, as soon as can be. Cool, man.
Oh, yeah, Rob. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother. I'll sign you off the air. Much love.
See ya.
See you, dude.
Much love.
Okay, guys, that was another episode of If It's Fair, It's Gone. Like I said, that was episode 7. And do me a favor, if you have not yet subscribed to The Robbie Rowe Show, go ahead and do that now. All you got to go is to the, I don't even know what would it be? What would I call that? My podcast page? The Robbie Rowe Show page, I guess. Cool. Go to that. Hit subscribe. And then you'll see when I'm coming out with new episodes. Right now I'm doing 3 a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I might be switching that here in the near future to like a Monday, Thursday, or a Tuesday, Friday. I just really don't want to overwhelm you guys, even though I do get tons of messages saying like, hey, keep them coming. I don't know. I don't know. I think too much maybe sometimes. But yeah, love you guys. Talk to you soon probably. See ya.